What's up, HyperFast Agent Nation? On this episode of the HyperFast Agent Show, we've got an amazing guest, a real estate agent from just down the road from here in Maryland. She did 38 deals last year as a solo agent and is now hiring and building a team. And today she's going to talk about that process, plus the energy it takes to invest in yourself and each client in order to consistently and constantly grow. Welcome to the show, Sunita Bali. All right, welcome to the show today. I'm super excited to have Sunita on. Thanks for coming down here.
And I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, so why don't you tell the HyperFast viewers, listeners out there a little bit about yourself and your business, just a quick bio before we get started.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm Sunita Bali. I've been a long-time resident of Maryland, and I have developed my business on a exceptional foundation of customer care, and I have grown a lot over the last 3-4 years, and started, my story is kind of funny, like everybody started with just 1 and 2 and babysitting it and say, oh my gosh, don't talk to me. And then next year, like 10 times and then 20 times and then 30 times grew. So it's growing. So there is a point when you stop growing and you need a mentor, and you have to have someone whose success brings you more inspiration and tells you that this is possible, you can grow more. And that's how I, got to know you and Keri, HyperFast mentors, HyperFast agent mentors. So yeah.
So just 4 years in the business, right?
Gonna be 6 years actually.
Okay.
Yeah, in October.
And what was it like what made you get into it, first of all?
Well, I never thought to be a realtor, that I would become a realtor.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Yes, yeah. I used to do my own, when the market in 2008, I used to do my own investments, and I liked it. I started with teaching French. I was a French professor back in India, and then went to France for higher studies and changed my career altogether, went more towards space science, majoring in business and management. So, and then I was hired by a satellite company here in the US, and that's how I came. And I worked for American corporations, business management, marketing, and sales and marketing. So I always had sales and marketing background, even though I had technical background. It was like my daughter had an accident. She was pretty young at that time, and she broke both her knees. She's okay now, fine, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
And I took care of her like a baby. It was winter, snowing, and that time we did not have the option of working from home.
How old was she?
She was in teenager. So she's
looking at double cast?
Yeah, she was bedridden.
Hip cast?
Yeah, she had meniscus. She had broken both the meniscus. Everything was, so she had 2 surgeries, invasive as well, non-invasive. So so I did not have option to work from home. And basically, they told me that either you take care of your daughter or you come and work. So I said, okay, families first. So I took care of her. And so it was cold, couldn't go out, snowing. So I said, okay, I always wanted to do real estate. So let's go online and do classes. And I took exam, and rest is the history. I got myself licensed, and within few months I started pursuing real estate, and it's been my passion since then, seriously.
Yeah, I think so often that big things, big changes in our lives are things maybe we've thought about for years, but then there's just some unknown catalyst that happens, like your daughter breaking her knees.
Right. Had no choice.
Forces you to put your back against the wall a little.
Yeah. I conquered my fear and said, okay, I'm gonna do it. No matter
so
what.
what was the start like the first year or two for you?
Yeah, the first year actually I had no idea going into it. I just did one sale and that was a big one. And I said, I can pay my mortgage. So I was very happy. And then when I went for a sales meeting and I saw the agents were making 1 million net, they were taking home. And I was not even in the bottom. I didn't get any award. And I really took it to heart because I always want to be top, in life. So I took it to heart. I said, well, this is not a rocket science. I can do it. And I'm a rocket scientist, so I have to figure it out what to do. So, and then I, searched for coaching. I was in a coaching for some time. And then I sincerely feel that once you stop growing, once you stop investing in yourself, in your education, you stop growing. So that's what I learned in real estate. And otherwise, you have to always keep, educating yourself. So I did some coaching and then I started growing and I got confidence that you can grow. All you have to stay focused and take the proven methods what others are using.
So what did your volume and transaction count look like last year, 2019?
So I've been stuck for the last 2 years at the same level, that is platinum level, Remax, but they say if you grow 20% every year, it's a good growth, but I really want to go double or triple, So when last year I was platinum and Remax, so I sold about 38 units, and I've been Washingtonian's top agent, so you have to have certain volume, about
so 38
14
units, and did you have an assistant or other members?
No, I was solo. I did
solo.
have assistant off and on, virtual assistants and virtual marketing off and on, but not full time. When I get busy, I said, okay, I need to have someone, and I'm trying to put off all the fire. And so that's...
And what about this year?
So this year I'm very organized,
okay.
Thanks to HyperFast training. This growth is not going to be in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, because it's a long-term 5-year plan. So I'm making my 5-year plans. I'm hiring. I've hired my first ISA. I've hired my admin. So now I'm going to be focusing on buyers agents. That's how I'm going to grow. And I do feel that online leads, which I have, a lot, and I'm just throwing away because I don't have anyone, is no more an option. We have to do that way with all that's going on. So there's enormous potential to grow.
Yeah, I think the pandemic has caused a lot of people to shift how they look for homes and meet their agents. So online is going to become even more important than it was before. But I think the key that you did that will set you up is getting that ISA and admin. Mm-hmm. A lot of agents go out when they want to build a team and scale, and they start with buyer's agents because they don't want to pay a salary because they get nervous, and then they end up being the admin now for themselves plus that buyer's agent or the other ones that they add. So a lot of people kind of do it backwards. So what was that process like? Was it like a leap of faith for you to go out and get that ISA, a full-time admin, or were you nervous?
Well, any change makes you nervous, and you do think how you're going to pay, or if you're going to pay, make sure that they are increasing their productivity, right? That's important. So, I followed the process, sat down and wrote everything which I don't like to do or which I cannot do. I rather focus on, higher paid activities, and I'm good at that, than doing the admin stuff, which is $12, $14, $15 an hour. I've done that enough, but once you calculate how much you are worth an hour, then you do not want to do any more that. So based on that calculative approach, it really made sense to hire an admin as well as an ISA.
Hey, that's a great thought. But let me get to this question that I just got from one of my followers right to my phone. By the way, did you know you can text me at 703-215-1684? This is a new thing I've rolled out. I'm letting my listeners and people that subscribe and follow me on social media connect with me directly to my phone on text message. It's me answering them and responding. You can ask me anything about real estate, investing, business, whatever. Just text 703-215-1684 and I will respond to you. And how has that helped your business? I mean, I know this is a weird year with coronavirus and lockdowns and whatnot, but where do you see yourself, coming in this year compared to last year?
Well, I did extremely well in first quarter, because of all the setup I had. We were like closing left and right. We really did well in first quarter to make up for second if we are not doing that well, because we are still doing our best, right? I'm still, developing online, virtual. That's the new norm now. So that takes time. We are ready for any kind of challenge now if we have to do virtually or, we can go. So all the revenues I had first week of first quarter, they were all virtual. So that did help me to have an extra, help.
So it seems like you're well positioned then for however long the lockdowns, virus last,
right.
And beyond even.
Yeah.
Have there been any challenges with, ISAs, admin hiring?
So we had to change the job description before they were coming in the office, and it's not required. So now it's all wherever they are, working from there, and I'm kind of managing from far. The same way with admin. So their job description also evolved. They are doing more transactions, or they are helping me more with marketing, because I'm preparing myself more towards marketing, branding, which I always used to complain, I don't have time, I can't do this. And now with more time on hand in terms of not going out, we before we would go and show homes. Now we are still showing homes, but it's quite a lot virtually. When they really like it virtually, then we go and show it to the client.
Well, the marketing and branding, I know sometimes, like, as an agent, it's kind of hard to focus on that, because, if you've got a hot buyer or hot seller, like, the attention is there, but the marketing and branding is what will produce a lot more money
Absolutely.
later on. So.
Yeah, we see we see the results, over the time in 5-year plans. We just can't say, oh, one day I'll do it, because then you might be late for that, right? So we have to keep doing, as we grow,
And what's been the biggest revelation, as you've been focused more on marketing and branding, or something that now that maybe a year ago you had no idea, or maybe even 6 months ago?
Consistency, like keep doing it. Before I would do when I'm free, I would just do and say, okay, let's do. I can send some articles, I can do my blog, I can put something on my website, I can maybe work on reviews. But now it's like, it's a system. It has to keep going along with your other transactions. You just can't wait. Marketing cannot wait. It has to grow with you as you grow, because it helps you to grow. So that's a big revelation that we need to keep market ourselves, our brand, constantly.
Yeah, the consistency, now more than ever, is really, really important. I think people's attention spans with everything that's gone on in the news and social media this year just very, very short, and people are posting more. So like it takes more of that consistent effort to break through. So
True.
the same effort, this year might only get half the attention that you got last year. So
Absolutely.
the consistency is even
Is the game.
more important.
Right. Absolutely.
And has your admin been helping with that or keeping you on track? Like what do you do to stay on track with being consistent? Now that you realize that.
So
that's
we
key.
have a system like every Friday. So she plans for the whole week, what posts we're gonna be doing morning and evening, and which days what we're doing. So she plans everything on the calendar, and then I go and look at it. And I approve it because it's important what we are putting on. I don't want her to put something which is not relevant, like 2 years old, and then it has no value, and they're gonna say, "Huh? What is she talking about?"
Right.
Because I'm responsible. So, and then it gives me time to, coach them also a little bit, what's going on, because it's important they know what's going on in the market in terms of real estate. So we go through, they do everything, it's all automated. So then it goes on time, like Monday at 8, 5 p.m. So it's scheduled.
And then the inside sales agent, just so everyone knows, that's, when we say that term, it's the people that are responding to leads, calling leads. But how has that person helped? Are you seeing an increase in your appointments since you brought them on board, and maybe more time? If they're doing a lot of follow-up for you, do you have more time to focus on your existing clients and your marketing?
Absolutely, because I still do my hour of power, like 8:30 to 10:30, or if I'm
double hour power.
yes, I do. So because I go and look up in the system in my CRM what has been followed up and what has not been followed up, and how many appointments I have. So I do my very best that nothing goes unattended. So that increases the chance, because this, as everything is in follow-up. The money is in the follow-up.
Right.
The customer care is in the follow-up. If we do not follow up with our clients, they're gonna obviously go somewhere else, So that I get to know the health of my business too, because there are now 4 eyes, So whatever I miss, they catch. Whatever they miss, I catch.
Yeah, and I think, you kind of hinted at something that I think you do a really good job at, is that customer care and just the energy that you bring to each transaction. And clearly it's there if you were doing 38 deals as a solo agent. So let's talk about that, like the energy that you bring to each buyer and seller.
Yes, sure. Well, buyer side, I always sit down and go over what it is. If it's a first-time home buyer, even if they are not first-time home buyer, it changes a lot. Every year there are new set of rules,
Right.
They need to be aware of that. So I just sit down and go over what it takes to buy a home, and if they have to sell also, then what strategies do we have so that they are not homeless, they sell their home and also buy at the same time, based on their situation. So buyer side, always educating them what it takes to buy a home, go over the process, and find out their expectations, what their expectations are from me, and also when they are buying a home, and also tell them a little bit about the market, because if I go run at the drop of the hat, start showing them homes, and they're not knowing what the market is, and when I write an offer and they don't win it, it's gonna be my fault. So I just prepare them, tell them where the market is. Whatever comes right now goes very fast if it's priced right and it's in a good condition. So I set up the expectations, and then I also show them what's available, just to do reality check, whether what they are expecting, it's there or not there. So based on that, when we go out, I always tell them that, you might have 5 criteria. If out of 5, 4 are met, that is 100% home, because there are no 100% home. Even new constructions, new homes have something lacking. So, so once we work on expectations, what they're expecting, what the market is, and where they are in terms of their financial situation, I show them 5 homes, and if out of 5 they don't pick one, then we sit down again and see where we were missed, why they could not pick one up. Of course, I'm not forcing just out of 5 one home, and if they don't like it, we obviously have to look for more, but generally they do. If I do listen very carefully about their requirements.
Yeah, I think a lot of good stuff in there to kind of unpack, but one, treating like each client like a little bit differently, because everyone's situation is unique and different. So a first-time home buyer is going to be different than a move-up buyer, right? They're gonna have different sets of challenges and problems, experiences that they bring to the table. So understanding that, and then giving them the education, the information up front. It's not rushed, especially if you're in a competing market.
Right.
If they find the dream home and then you explain the competition levels,
right.
I think there's a lot of pressure on them to learn it and figure it out.
Absolutely.
All at once after seeing this home they like, and they're wondering, well, why do I need to waive a contingency or escalate or whatever the case may be. So I think giving them that information up front is really important. And then the other thing I really liked was kind of having that check-in process where you listen to them, get their criteria, come up with 5 homes that, based on that you think would meet at least 80% of their requirements, 4 out of 5. And then if for some reason they don't, well, let's check in and, did I misunderstand you, or were you just expecting, more than this market has to offer, right? So what do we need to adjust? So.
Yeah, the reason I'm smiling, sometimes they give me the requirements, all the requirements, and they pick up some house and they say, can we see this, can we see that? I say, sure. And they go for that. Completely opposite.
Right.
It's so emotional. Like, buying a home, sometimes it's so emotional. So I do care about their emotions. It's not that I don't care, but I just keep bringing them back home what they had told me.
No, I think that's the key. Like, it is an emotional decision. It's not like a little bit. It's emotional that they then use logic to justify it somehow. But it's that understanding that emotion and pairing them with the right kind of opportunity. What about on the selling side? Like what specific processes and energy are you bringing to your seller clients?
Sellers are completely different, because you go to their home and you build a rapport very quickly, because they are inviting you to their living quarters, so, and then you also kind of gonna be honest looking at their house in terms of what needs to be improved. So, but still you have to be very careful, because you're still building a rapport with them and you don't want to oversay something. It starts before I get there. Even if it's my friends, my family, or very close friends, I never take it for granted that, oh, let's go there, they are going with me anyways. Not like that. I still treat them like I would treat anyone else in terms of qualifying. I think qualifying process is the most important before you get there, which means to find out their motivation, why they are selling, their pain points, and the criteria which are hidden, like, what matters them the most, the price or certainty. Some people won't care selling for full price, but they want certainty. They just want to sell and move on.
Right.
So
And a lot of agents just don't understand that.
Exactly. So you are really like a therapist or a psychologist, I would say, that before you go there, you understand, why they're selling, their motivation, and also get to know their personalities, because I might be one kind of personality and they are altogether different. Let's say I'm a driver personality, based on this test, and they are like, I don't know, like S or C. So they're very careful, all about data. So it's very important before I get there to have that ammunition with me, like have that data. And if they want more numbers, they want to see, if I say, okay, I sell, all my listings are sold at the highest price in the shortest time. And they say, okay, how? So I have to have something, right? So I have to prove that. So I print out from Bright MLS the data of my last 12 months listing sold, how much were they listed and when they were sold and how much were they sold. So that kind of stuff. I always go over prepared, even if I don't need it, because that gives me a little bit edge over, other agents, or give me edge over myself. Like if they ask me some question and if I don't have that data, I'm not ready. So sellers are mostly get to know their motivation first. So once I pre-qualify them over the phone, then I go there with all my marketing plan, anything to, marketing material or my, data from which I printed out from Bright MLS. And I also leave them a document saying that if you are interviewing other agents, so just compare what I do, and I give them a list and I say just check if they do the same thing, and then in the end compare who does most and why I'm successful. I do tell them there are lots of realtors, but the difference between them and me is my marketing plan, and I do follow that. That's how I start.
Hey, hold that thought for a second. Look, if you guys want to see a little bit behind the scenes of what goes on in my life, running multiple businesses, training for Ironmans, raising a family of lots and lots of kids, check out my weekly vlog on my YouTube channel. Go to bit.ly/Lesniak YouTube. And we put out an episode every Tuesday. Again, that's bit.ly/Lesniak YouTube. Check me out there, leave a comment on the blog, and let me know what you think.
Yeah, what I think is most interesting there, and that a lot of people hopefully can take away and implement, is this idea of gathering information up front about them and then adjusting your approach based on what you think their needs are, what their personality is. I think a lot of agents probably get that call and they're just, commission hungry and ready to book the appointment and forget to ask, like, well, why are you selling? Right? Which can reveal a lot of information. Like, was there a death in the family? Is there a birth coming up and they're expecting to?
So many things.
House.
You never know.
Right?
Hidden divorce. You never know.
Tons of different motivations and reasons, and just like, I don't know, an extra minute or two at most on the phone up front can really help you like understand what approach you need to take.
Absolutely. Yep. And revenues are important. I mean, that's why we have to pay our bills. But I think if we do a good job, money follows. There's no way if you do a good job that it's not, you're not going to be rewarded for that. So it's very natural. So I just focus on being good, being the best actually, and provide them more than what I promised.
Well, I think when, like you said, when you focus on investing in yourself and figuring out how to help clients, like the money will follow.
You're right, absolutely.
Really focus on those things. What are you most excited about, going forward? Here we are, the middle of 2020. There's, we're in this unprecedented times, and we would never have thought a few months ago that we would have lockdowns and everything else going on, but you've gone from solo agent, 38 deals, to now 2 team members. Like, in the next year or so, what are you anticipating and excited about?
Well, I'm excited about that. I have a kind of statement that somebody today somewhere needs my help, and this is so true. When I call or when I get a call, it's always from helping point of view, because they really need a house, they need somebody's help. They want to buy, but they don't know how. They want to sell, but they don't know, how it's going to happen. They're moving to another state, and I have that expertise. I have those tools. I can help them. And it's just a matter of showing them that it's very much feasible. And I always keep myself in that state of excitement that I'm helping, I'm doing something good to improve somebody's life. So that keeps me, and I think I'm born positive person. So I always see opportunities, but I'm not seeing opportunities in this situation, I'm very cognizant that, health is first, but in a general term, positiveness is something which takes you very long, right? But with facts, being positive and then taking action. Not positive, like, okay, everything will be all right, all is good. Not that. Everything would be all right, but if we take action, So I do take actions, and whatever I dream, I give, I try to give, shape to it, by taking action. So that's my excitement. And then there's a strategy, right? In order to move forward, you have to have somebody who shows success in their own business, and those who have proven methods to be successful. So I bank upon them. I, move forward and ask them their help, in terms of mentors, in terms of advisors.
Well, it's going to be exciting to watch that growth. Before we wrap up, I want to do the HyperFast round if you are ready.
Absolutely.
Rapid fire questions. All
yes.
right. So what is your biggest piece of advice to a new real estate agent?
Take action. You can do it. You are no less than anyone. And do it sooner, and take help. Go into mentorship. Go whatever it takes to be successful. You are no less than anyone.
All right. Biggest piece of advice to an experienced real estate agent?
Grow. Do not sit there and think that you know everything. You don't. Even after many, many years of experience, things are changing so fast. Technology is changing. Even you are changing yourself. And just go educate yourself more. And sky's the limit. Do more.
What's the biggest challenge you've had in real estate, and how did you overcome it?
Well, biggest challenge is myself, my own fears, and you have to overcome your fear. I remember when I just made like $22,000 first year of my real estate career, and I said, oh my gosh, I have a daughter, she goes to school, and I have a home. Being a single mom, I said, oh my gosh, how I'm gonna do it? And then I took $20,000, put it on my credit card, and went for coaching and mentorship, coaching and joined the coaching program. And I used to sweat at night. I said, oh my gosh, I'm under debt, So then I told myself, no, I'll make 10 times more, and I did. So you have to take action and believe in you. That's very important.
If you're not selling real estate, what are you doing for fun?
Oh, I have it really changes. I was an athlete when I was in school and in college, Even about 10 years ago, I used to ride, I used to cycle for multiple sclerosis. I rode for 5 years, and I was the highest fundraiser. And then my niece, like a year, I don't know from where it came. Then I went dancing. I would do, like I used to work for American corporation, so I would work from home. And so, I could schedule my own time. So when everybody's coming home, I'm going out to dance. So I did for 3-4 years, because I could afford. Anyways, so right now today, I'm very much into gardening.
That's a exploding activity
Yes,
for
yes.
For the lockdowns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I think that if I ever have a farm, wherever I am, I would grow a lot of produce, and I'll cook and I'll distribute it to kids who are hungry or starving or whosoever needs it. So I just want to do something for nonprofit. That, or I could donate, depending on the time, because I do get very ambitious, but then we have 24 hours in a day, right?
Right. We all get the same amount.
Yeah. So recently I've been thinking a lot of giving back. So if I want to grow very, very big, and I want to give back. Because when I was locked down, I had a lot of reflection, and I thought, and my, brothers, sisters, they say, what for? Your daughter is now a doctor. She's she's on her way. You don't have to worry. I said, yeah, but I still have to give back. I would be doing something. I just can't sit home. I want to be productive.
No, you definitely sound like it. Last question, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I probably see myself in 5 years growing a lot, maybe 3-4 times more than what I am. I do want to have at least 10 agents, and then help more, maybe increase the price point also of in terms of real estate. And in terms of personal, I do want to be financially independent, so I can take some time off for myself too. And I just want to grow.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to watch that growth. And before we sign off, can you just let everyone know what areas you serve and how they can get in touch with you if they want to connect about real estate or anything?
Sure. Well, again, I'm Sunita Bali. I am licensed in DC and Maryland. I'm a residential agent, a real estate agent. And if you would like to reach me, you can reach me via phone 301-984-7108 or via my website www.balihomes-md.com.
All right. Well, thank you for being on the show today. This was great.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been wonderful.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the HyperFast Show. Subscribe to us if you want to make sure you get the latest and greatest HyperFast shows. And remember, we love reviews. Reviews help us bring better and better guests and improve our shows. So give us the good, the bad, and the ugly. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.
Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end. I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you want to see more, click right here. And if you want 100 real estate tips from my best-selling book, click right here to download them instantly. And if you're new to this channel, click below to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out.